Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Foundation Fest. And today, we're gonna do another one that I can say later that YouTube made me do it. You guys have been requesting this. I haven't watched anyone else's reviews of it. I haven't seen it anywhere else. It's from Amazon. It is the OWNEST Mushroom Head Air Cushion BB Cream. And here's what it looks like on Amazon. And it looked so pretty that I was like, yes, I'll buy that. So this retails for $12.98. It appears to only come in two shades, A Ivory and B Natural. I ordered B Natural because Ivory looked very, very fair and slightly yellow undertone, where B Natural still might be a little too yellow undertone, but is probably more in my range because I'm not the fairest of the fair. I'm just like middle to late side of fair. So this is described. It's hard to do the product descriptions on. I'm thinking this is K-Beauty because of the translations, but a cute mushroom head, when it meets water, it becomes bigger and softer. So this also comes with this adorable little sponge on a handle with a little case to keep it in, although I wouldn't put it in this case while it's wet because there's no holes for ventilation or drips, but skin-friendly elastic bionic film, and that's on the actual product. So, and that's where that cute little design comes in. Can you guys see like the poke holes of the design? So there's like this bionic skin across the top of it that you press down the sponge to get the powder, or not the powder, the foundation out. Naturally covers skin defects, conceals pores, does not clog pores, creates a natural moisturizing makeup, clearer complexion. It's a natural plant formula suitable for all skin types and suitable for all women of age. Are they trying to tell me I'm old? I don't know what that's supposed to be. I'm guessing all ages. I'm just being snide. I think that's about it. It does have Centella asiatica, rawr, tiger grass, and tremella extract, and so on. I don't know what the and so on is. I guess it implies there are more ingredients. It's currently getting 3.9 out of 5 stars on Amazon, and we're going to give it a run, shall we? Let's take a look at shade B Natural, B2 Natural, swatched against a few others in my collection. Swatch time. First up is today's foundation, the OWNEST Mushroom Head Air Cushion BB Cream in shade B Natural. Second, I've got from Wet n Wild, the Tinted Hydrator in shade Fair. Third up is from Flower Beauty, the Serum Foundation in shade L2 Ivory. Fourth, I've got NYX Born to Glow in Light Ivory. And last, I've got from Misha, the Perfect Cover BB Cream in shade 21. I've already cleansed, moisturized, and sunscreened this 46-year-old face. I am rolling with a little bit of the Strivectin Line Blur Effector just around my smile lines and my forehead lines as primer. I've got a brush here, but I think we'll stick with the sponge as intended. I did dampen it, so this is the larger size, and it did grow and get softer than when it was dry, pretty much like a sponge. I'm really curious if, like in the picture when I dab this, if I'm going to get that pretty little design on here. I really hope I do. Let's do this. Oh! It's so pretty. You guys. It's almost too pretty to use. Oh, this is fun. Alright, let's see if it's any good as makeup. Now, I am going to have probably all day perennial glass lines from wearing my glasses. I was not planning to film today because the construction crew was here. I thought they were going to be hanging drywall all day, but they got called away to another call, so now I'm able to do some filming. But I was wearing my glasses up until about half an hour ago, so these dents in my face are probably going to be there all day, so sorry about that. But, oh, I don't want to ruin this pretty design. Okay, fine, I'll ruin it. I'm immediately noticing that this is very heavily fragranced. It has a very perfumey scent to it. I do not have a very sensitive nose, so if I smell it, it is pretty heavy in the fragrance. This blends out beautifully. The downside of having that pretty design is it puts the pretty design all over your face. So you do have to make sure that you are blending out the little specks of the pretty design. The other issue I'm having is that because there's no point on the sponge, like I can't get into the corners of around my nostrils. So I'm just gonna like touch that bionic skin with my finger and get some product there. I think the sponge is probably a bit gimmicky. I would rather use a regular damp sponge that has a pointed end for easier maneuvering. But this looks very pretty on the skin. A little bit more matte than I was expecting for a BB cream, but I think we're getting some pretty good redness coverage from one side to the other. So this is the side that's done. I can barely see sunspots. So I'd say we're getting a light medium coverage right away with just the sponge. I'm actually going to use a regular damp sponge on the other side just to see how this goes. It makes the design on there too. This applies and blends just as well with a standard dampened sponge. It blends out nicely. It is clinging just a tiny bit to some of my flaking skin, but very little. I do like how much coverage you get right off the bat, and I think it is a natural kind of looking finish, slightly toward the matte side, but not flat. There's still just a little bit of reflect going on. Let's take a look up close at this one. I would say that in terms of lines and fine lines and texture and pores, it's doing a nice job at not accentuating any of them. I think my pores look decently smooth. Now I do have that primer on, although that primer is better at lines than it is at pores. It is not accentuating texture. It's not accentuating fine lines. It looks pretty good on my nose, which is a fairly difficult task for a foundation. The only part that looks a little bit dry, I think, is my forehead, but even that is not bad. I really think this is a nice, smooth, nice medium coverage right off the bat. How many times have I said that now? Sorry. I kind of like this. I think this looks nice. I think I'm looking at a distance, it looks okay. I'm looking in the monitor, it looks okay. Looking in the 10X that I can't stand, and it looks okay. I'm getting rid of this mirror, I'm telling you guys. All right. I don't really have many things to complain about right now. It's looking all right. Let's check the time. What time is it? It is, Pokemon Go. Kanto event. 2 o'clock. Let me go put the rest of my face on. I'll be right back. So far, so good with the Mushroom Head Air Cushion BB Cream. This packaging is so pretty. I did not have to set this with powder. It's set down just fine on its own. I like the finish. I think it has warmed up to the skin in the sense that it's kind of more of a slightly dewy finish now. I wouldn't call it quite as matte. It's matte satin, like satin matte. It's a nice finish. I do like it. It is clinging just a little bit to some dry skin here and some dry skin on my lip. Not bad. Overall, looks really good. I'm very much liking it. Did not have to set it. Love that. I am testing some Ipsy Glam Bag stuff today. So I'm wearing Flower Light Illusion as bronzer. This is the tawny shade. My blush is from my Ipsy. It is the Mael Sunkissed Blush Palette. Highlight is Wet n Wild Blossom Glow. My eyes are a mix of things from this Ipsy. I will link all of this stuff down below. I've got the About Face Liquid Matte Shadow Paint, which I like a lot. Little mini eyeshadow palette from Love You First. I'm trying out a mascara from Item Beauty, the Lash Snack, and I really like it. It's a smaller sized brush. Snack sized? And I really like it. And my lip is Flower Beauty, the Perfect Pout Moisturizing Lipstick Bullets in Blushing something or other. Blush Rose. Blush Rose. So that is where we are starting out. I will come back in a bit with a daylight check-in, and I'll come back tonight and give you guys my final thoughts. Hey guys, it has been about 2 hours, a little bit over, and here we are. Foundation still seems to be holding up fine. I have way too much blush on. This is just too much for me, you guys. But I did just get back from a quick trip to the post office where I wore a mask for like 2 minutes, if that, and the product did transfer off of my nose onto the mask, so it's not very transfer resistant, but I think it looks fine so far. Coverage looks nice. I like the finish. Color match I think is fine. Smidge dark on me, maybe just a smidgeum. But come summertime when I actually have color on my, oh, did you see all that cat hair? Wow. Come summertime when I have color on my forearms, which always look a little bit darker than the rest of me, this color would match me just fine, I think. My lip stain is a terrible pink color that does not work for me at all. That's my day. There you have it. That's where we're at starting out. I will be back tonight. We'll see how this one wraps up. 11:13 p.m. Let's take a look at how this Mushroom Foundation BB Cream held up. First up, let's talk finish. It's a little bit more dewy than it was starting out, and it has separated a little bit. So like if I take my fingers and just press my forehead, do you see how you can kind of see the oil has separated out of it just a little bit? So it's the kind of thing that you'd probably need to blot, and this isn't oil that my body's producing. This is the product itself, because I really don't produce oil, like, at all. So that's one iffy situation, especially if you have oily skin or combo skin. I'm not sure this would work out so well. Let's talk wear comfort level. It's a little bit drying. I noticed as I was wiping a little fleck of mascara away from my eye. You know the test they have you do on a cat where you like pinch their skin? You do it on humans too, where you like pinch the skin, and if it doesn't go immediately back down, you're probably dehydrated. So I had kind of pinched my skin. Do you see how it doesn't go back down? Like, my face is really dehydrated, and it's been feeling that tight sort of dry feeling since about the 7-hour mark. So about 2 hours ago, I was thinking, I really wish I could wash this off. It's not extreme. I would just say it's slightly to moderately drying, unfortunately. Everything else, it's pretty. It's wearing fairly well. I've lost a little bit of coverage on my chin, but I had to blow my nose today, and my nose doesn't even look that bad. You can still see where I had the mask that I only wore for a couple of minutes, so a little bit wore off of the bridge of my nose. But generally speaking, I think the wear was pretty good. Let's zoom in and take a look. It hasn't gotten any worse in terms of clinging to dry skin, so I do think if you have flaking skin or any kind of dry patches, it's actually pretty tolerant of them. It held up pretty well. And even my nose still looks okay, even though I blew my nose, which, I mean, it says something, that it stays put fairly well if you're not touching it. It stays put in terms of it not sliding around, moving around on its own, which is good. It's worn off a little bit on my chin, but everywhere else, blush bronzer highlight is still very well intact. I have way too much blush on, you guys. This is just too much for my taste. But in between my eyebrows looks okay. It didn't really cling to that texture. My forehead still looks fine. It didn't do any real settling into lines. It didn't settle into pores. In fact, I still think my pores look quite blurred. It's nice on texture. It's okay. If I had to give a grade, they call it the Flawless Nude Makeup, but I know it had a mushroom something in the title with this whole thingamajig. It's beautiful. It's beautiful packaging. It's beautiful. It's like a beautiful experience of applying it. That's good stuff. But it only has 2 shades. So if I had to give a grade to this one, this lovely mushroom beauty BB cushion, I'm going to give it a B. We're going to go B on this one. We're going to go, yeah, like an 84 B. It's all right. I would wear it again. I think it has a few things that would need to be improved if it were to bump up to the A mark on me. There you have it. Did you guess right? I know you guys guessed the grades along with me. Let me know in the comments down below. Another episode of Foundation Fest is in the books. If you enjoy foundation reviews, if you had fun with this one, give me a thumbs up down below. I'm always taking comments on foundations you would like me to review in the future. I keep a running list. I buy them whenever I can, so let me know if you have a special request. You can find my master list of over 220 foundation reviews on geekoutofwater.com. Click the Foundation Fest link. There's a ranked, sortable, searchable spreadsheet there with all my foundation reviews. And as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. Come back every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern time for new videos. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.